Hello ladies and gentlemen, Extentor here and welcome back to another YouTube video. Now in today's video we'll be discussing the A340-600, which is one of the oldest aircraft in infinite flight, which is almost a decade old, almost a big 10 years. Now today we're going to be discussing hopefully a full potential rework of the A340, and it is, fun fact, it's pretty much one of my favourite aircraft in infinite flight, or in the world shall we say. So yeah, if you're also new here, please feel free to like and subscribe. But other than that, we'll just get straight into this video, shall we? So we're going to go with the Qatar livery. Actually, first of all, so with the A340s, we're very limited with our livery choices. So as you can see, there's literally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's about 10 livery options there. Might be 9. So we are very, tight with what we can choose. Now, the A340-600 itself is the largest of the 4 variants of the A340, the A340-200, 300, 500 and 600, and the one we have in infant flight is the largest variant of all of them. So I'm just going to spawn at an airport quickly so I can just show you all the plane and bits that need to be reworked. So following in with the aircraft itself, there are many airlines which have the A340-600 which are not yet in infinite flight. So there is Air Atlanta Icelandic, they have it, or do have it. Azerbaijan and Azman Air both have the A340 Conviasa, again another airline. Their livery sort of reminds me of the EasyJet liveries, okay? So there are also some airlines which used to have the A340-600 but don't use it anymore, such as China Eastern Airlines, Cathay Pacific, Etihad Airways, Hainan, Iberia, many airlines which most of you will know of. Now we do also know that Lufthansa fly as well. So having a look at the aircraft in general, it is, like I said in yesterday's video, is one of the worst Airbus aircraft in infinite flight. Now just look at this cockpit. We do have a working throttle, the working flaps thing. I don't think, the rudder pedals don't move, but the side stick does move, however. Now, so what we would be hoping to see is a full cockpit rework. Now, in a full cockpit rework, we'll get new seats, a proper door, we'll get rid of these stickers, we'll get proper buttons, and I think this is very essential because this is an aircraft that is like begging us for a full rework right now. So I'm just going to connect up with all of the extra bits just to show you all that none of the doors or gates do open on the aircraft. I don't know why I brought the flaps in, but just actually I'll show you the flaps as well now very quickly. They move very fast. Now generally with the aircraft the flaps tend to take a little while to go down, but look how quickly they move down. And small transitions like that are just not very realistic. Now when we do look at the aircraft as a whole from underneath here, you can just see, the paint gets a little bit pixelated and it's not really an amazing paint job up close. Now also looking in at the engines, they're very blurry, there's no fan blades, so they're nowhere near up to date of what we would have with all of the other current aircraft. Now when we do go inside the aircraft, like I've said previously in other videos, it's just a void. And it is quite annoying now, that there is no interior cabin. Now obviously the aircraft again has been untouched since its initial release back in 2013. That also means the physics of the aircraft are a bit weird, so it's a little bit harder to land. However, we do have a cockpit at least, which has a cockpit view unlike the 767 which we have in infinite flight. So we would see in a full rework of the aircraft, we'd get a full A340 rework. We'd have the interior cabin, we'd have seats, we'd have a live cockpit and all of the other features. Now I'm just going to try and land this aircraft just to show you all how weird the physics can be on it. So look, I was unaware of the volume. I'm just going to cut all volume out for you all now, and I'm going to change its weight to the max, like really heavy weight, just to try and show you all that you have to be heavy. So the aircraft itself, it's a bit like the CRJs. The physics is very similar with both of the aircraft, and it can be an alright aircraft to land, but we are way above our MLW right now, which is the maximum landing weight. But again, we did get a landing nevertheless, so that's a good thing. And also another thing worth noting with the A340, which I quite like right now, as you can see, I've got the spoilers up and I am pretty much in full reverse thrust, and it does take quite a while to come to a full stop. Now that is obviously Going to do with the inertia of the aircraft due to the fact it's got such a heavy landing weight right now. So that will also be a contributing factor. But I do like it when the aircraft don't, instantly come to a full stop like some of them do if you do apply too much brakes. So that is something that I definitely like about the aircraft itself. So we're going to take off the aircraft as well, and we'll just see what the physics are like with that. I don't believe they are that bad with taking off the A340. I think it's a little bit of one of the nicer aircraft to take off with as an infinite flight, in comparison to the other aircraft. I'm just getting some side-on views here as well. You can see the livery on this aircraft in particular is a little bit better than some of the other ones, such as the F1 livery, which quite a lot of people are quite fond of. So I think that's quite a cool livery we have, of course. I'm just going to have to put the HUD on. Again, another issue without the live cockpit, you do need the use of HUD. Now, like you see, the aircraft goes up very easily, and it does, have a bit weird physics to it, and it is a bit of an awkward aircraft. But we can also get in the gear transition there, which looks quite good. So there we go, up go the gear. So again, another feature, you see the gear is still spinning. That is a very normal infant flight feature, and if we do go into the gear now, I'd imagine they'll still be spinning. If we can locate where the gear will be. It looks like the gear have disappeared. It looks like the gear disappear. Here, we'll get in here, there we go, perfect. Now, is it just a void, or is it... No, so I just couldn't find the gear because I was being stupid. So the gear don't disappear, sorry, that's me just being silly. So the gear would have still been spinning for a little bit, but I took a bit of time to get back to where we wanted to be there. So we're going to just come back onto the runway and talk about this aircraft just a little bit more, because there are quite a few things which can be said. Now, the infant flight community is where lots of people discuss aircraft rework in infant flight, although it is heavily moderated, so there are some cons to that. So there is an A340 light rework chat, which currently has 47 votes at time of looking. I had the 47th vote. I will leave a link in the description for anyone who wants to have a look at it and see what it's about. But it was someone asking for a light rework. Now, 47 votes in general is a fair amount of votes, I'd say, for the infant flight community, but I've definitely seen higher for stuff like the A380 rework. So hopefully we can get a few votes up on that if you are definitely someone who wants an A340 600 rework. Now, it would also be cool to see if we could get some extra variants. So you can see with the 737s, we've got the 3 variants of it there, and the A330, we've got 3 variants of it there. It'd be great to see if the A330 300 or something could be added, because the A330, maybe even the 400, the A330 300, which was the most popular variant of all of the A340s. So I think that would definitely be one of the better variants for them to add into infinite flight. So I think all in all, when we do think about the A340, it is in need of a serious rework. If you do agree, make sure you let me know. And I think an A340 rework, it can be one of the cars in the future. I personally think that the A380 will get a rework, and probably potentially the 767 will also get a rework before even an A340 rework. If they do reworks in need of what aircraft needs it the most in infinite flight. So if you did enjoy this YouTube video, please make sure you like and subscribe, and also let me know, like I said again, if you want an A340 rework. I'm not too sure what's happening at the airport here. That's quite embarrassing for infinite flight, not me. So yeah, if you would like to see this, let me know down below, and I'll see you in my next video. Good night.
Find your way into this wonderland, cross the